BlackHillsUrgentCare.com. We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Looking for a great place for a pregame meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Commanders are acquiring 5-time Pro Bowl left tackle Laramie Tunsil from the Houston Texans in exchange for draft picks. The Seattle Seahawks signing former Minnesota Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold to a 3-year, $100 million deal. The New York Jets are signing former Steelers quarterback Justin Fields to a 2-year, $40 million contract. The Cleveland Browns are trading quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson to the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles for quarterback Kenny Pickett. The New England Patriots signing free agent defensive tackle Milton Williams away from the Eagles for 4 years at $104 million. The Arizona Cardinals signing pass rusher Josh Sweat away from the Eagles for 4 years, $76 million. Baseball, Los Angeles Dodgers manager Dave Roberts has agreed to a 4-year, $32 million extension. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, we're out of the gate on a Monday. Are you ready? I'm ready. It's always a great day in South Dakota, especially when much of the state hitting the 50s, 60s. I know wherever you're listening tonight, it is a little bit warmer, so we'll take it, okay? I've got shorts on. I will tell you what I'm doing today. I've got shorts on. That feels good. March 10th, welcome in. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here. Thanks for making this show possible. The Nate Brown Show is live. Fox Sports Radio out of the gate on a busy Monday. I mean, across the board, and we got some great guests coming up, no doubt. Let's get to that and get you on the show, get a question of the day popping. Some good stuff to cover. Summit League tournament wraps up. That was an interesting development. Congrats to the Jacks, the Jackrabbit women getting set to go dancing again. And how about that Omaha men's basketball story? That's an interesting story. They were picked 8th when this season started, and then Omaha goes on a run, and they take the men's crown. And pretty good support. We wanted to see the Jackrabbit men in there. They get knocked off early. USD couldn't quite keep up the pace, but Omaha going to the tournament. South Dakota State women going a good Summit League tournament in Sioux Falls once again. Let's get going. The Nate Brown Show is live on X right now. Follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. So welcome you on X, at Nate Brown Show, and on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. You can watch the stream live on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. I told you about the guests. Let's look at them. Brought to you by Forever Lawn, the best lineup of artificial grass in South Dakota is from Forever Lawn of South Dakota, ready to install for you across the entire state, whether you're East River, West River. Forever Lawn is here, and they've got landscape grass, the really nice stuff. This is maintenance-free, environmentally sound, good stuff. You put it in, you're good to go. It looks great. Landscape grass. Check out their sports grass, turf fields, golf greens. You want to work on your putting and chipping? It's this time of weather. It's time. Get to Forever Lawn of South Dakota. Just take a look at the lineup yourself. Google Forever Lawn in South Dakota. Give them a shot this spring and summer. Get on their list for 2025. The Forever Lawn guest lineup tonight on a Monday. I said a busy show across the country, so we'll get some live coverage of this. Dane Mizutani is going to come on the program tonight. Vikings beat writer, TwinCities.com. We find out finally what Sam Darnold's going to do we don't quite know exactly what the Vikings are going to do. We'll get to Dane Mizutani, Vikings beat writer, Pioneer Press from the Twin Cities. Also, some news coming tomorrow at the South Dakota Legislature. The session winding down. They're talking budget, and we're going to see where does SDPB land tomorrow morning. That's going to start at 8 o'clock. Ryan Hallett is the CEO of Friends of SDPB. He's been on the show when this budget discussion started. Is SDPB going to get really cut? Are they going to take a haircut? How's that going to work for South Dakota high school sports coverage? It's the state tournaments, obviously, getting underway this week. Some big basketball tournaments. So how does that future look? That hearing starts tomorrow, and Ryan Hallett, he'll be on the show tonight. He's the CEO of Friends of SDPB. We'll get an update. How does that look? Gary Sharp's on tonight. I talked about Omaha men's basketball. He's been the play-by-play man for 12 years, and Gary Sharp is going dancing. It's an interesting thing when you cover a team, and I did this even back to the high school days. I covered a team, and you kind of get to know the players. You get to know the coaches, the families. You become part of the team when you're a play-by-play man. So Gary Sharp, 22 wins for his Omaha men's basketball team. And when you're the play-by-play man and you get to go to the tournament and you get to cover the NCAA tournament for the first time, I wanted to talk to him tonight. He's fresh off the success in Sioux Falls at the Summit League. Gary Sharp's the play-by-play man for Omaha. He's coming up. And we will go to Hill City. How about Hill City? Boys basketball program, they got a shot to make the State A tournament. They haven't been in this situation. They're in the Sodak 16 game tomorrow, and their head coach is Laramie Harvey. He'll join us. Hill City boys basketball out of nowhere, beating St. Thomas More and getting into the Sodak 16. We'll talk high school hoops with the head man in Hill City. Let's get you on tonight. If you want in, 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. That's our number, the Pizza Ranch Studio hotline. And if you want to text the show, you can do that. Text line's open and ready. 605-720-1067. Text us on the Barron's Wilson Lister text line directly. 605-720-1067. Okay. Nate Brown Show out of the gate, and we have to start with the Sam Darnold situation. So here's the what I'm wondering. How do Vikings fans feel today? I think a lot of Vikings fans, this is my guess, you can tell me on the text line or the Pizza Ranch Studio hotline, I think Vikings fans feel good about the quarterback situation. I got the feeling on this show the last couple of months that you guys didn't love Sam Darnold. You thought he had a nice year. When the big game was on the line, he struggled. I contended, I don't know if you're going to get much better than Sam's season. You can't beat that. Top 5 in yards, 35 touchdown passes, 14 wins. And I understand it comes down to the money. I understand it comes down to J.J. McCarthy. You've drafted him. You've got him. But I always think it's a major risk. A major risk when you haven't seen J.J. You saw him in preseason. That's nothing. That doesn't matter. And so I don't still know if the Vikings quarterback question is answered. I'm not sure it's answered. Maybe the Vikings think it is. Sam Darnold goes to the Seattle Seahawks today for $33 million a year. That's the annual average. $55 million guaranteed. So it's a short-term deal to the Seahawks, 3 years. And $33 million per year, roughly $55 million guaranteed. That's the big number. Would you have wanted the Vikings to get in that realm? That doesn't seem like that breaks the bank. That really doesn't seem like that hurts the Vikings if you get Sam Darnold on a pretty good deal, on not a bad deal, right? And this way, the Seahawks get him. They're going to roll with it. They send Geno Smith to the Raiders. This has been kind of a QB carousel. That's what the free agency situation ends up being today as things open up the legal tampering window and you got players on the move. So the Seahawks decided no Geno Smith, but we're going to go younger. We're going to go Sam Darnold and pay him $33 million a year. By the way, they're losing their weapons. They get rid of DK Metcalf. So the Seattle thing, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, trying to kind of compete, kind of not. I don't know exactly what they're doing. They say, we'll bring in Sam, and then we'll get rid of DK Metcalf, and we'll see how that all works out. But the deal is you come back to the Vikings, which you guys care about. most of you Vikings fans, I feel, say, okay, no Sam Darnold, and you think this is the J.J. McCarthy era. This is the start of the J.J. McCarthy era. Maybe there's just that excitement. It's springtime almost. It's springtime in South Dakota, so there's some excitement. The sun's out most places, and you just, hey, it's a new, fresh chapter. We haven't had anything like this in Minnesota in a long time. We've been through the run. I mean, I got a Christian Ponder jersey right here in the studio that somebody donated to me. A great listener sent that in as a joke, and I hung it up. You haven't done this rookie thing like since Ponder. This is going to work out better. You know it is, and you think JJ's the answer, and we're going to start fresh. Here's my concern. Is J.J. McCarthy ready to rock and roll with a Vikings team that's going to have some cap space, that's going to have Justin Jefferson and the weapons? This is a team that wants to not just compete, kind of. They think the window, you have to think, is now. So the Vikings think, we got to compete now. Does the rookie QB make sure that happens? That's a big question mark. And I go back to it. You don't know how rookies are going to be. So let's throw in a wild card. And I want to get the pulse of the Vikings fans. If it's not just J.J. McCarthy and Daniel Jones, I mean, is Daniel going to stay? We're going to keep an eye on this. Things are happening by the minute. Is Daniel Jones going to stay? Let's say it's J.J. McCarthy, but you need somebody else. Who are you going to go and get? Are they really ready to hand it over to J.J. McCarthy, or is this Aaron Rodgers thing a real thing or a wild goose chase? Is this Aaron Rodgers thing? And I don't know. I just saw it popping this morning. People have still kept it up there this afternoon. Aaron Rodgers might go Steelers, might go Giants, might go Vikings. And the Vikings fans across South Dakota, you tell me what on this Monday. I want to know if you could bring in Aaron Rodgers. Would you welcome Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback? This is you guys welcome Brett Favre after a while. Was Brett more likable than Aaron? Well, let's see. We could get into that debate the rest of the show. I want to know, as Vikings fans, if you're a Vikings fan, we got a lot of them in South Dakota, would you welcome Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback right now? That's what I want to know. My question of the day as we start the Nate Brown Show tonight on Fox Sports Radio, 605-720-1067. That's the text line and the Pizza Ranch studio hotline as well. I'll throw it out there to you. As a Vikings fan, I don't know if this is just iffy or if this is the real thing, that they might be looking at Aaron Rodgers. Would you bring Aaron in? You kind of know what you're getting. JJ could get ramped up to speed. Aaron comes in for what? He's got 1 year left. Is that about it? It's just 1 year, and then the JJ show starts. Is that what you're looking at? I want to know if you would even welcome Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. Aaron Rodgers as the Vikings QB, they're throwing it out as a dark horse thing. I'm throwing it out as the Vikings pulse here. I want to get the pulse of the fans. So you tell me. Let's go to this. A lot of votes here. 170 votes flying in. We've got a lot of votes right now. As a Vikings fan, would you welcome Aaron Rodgers as your next QB? I don't know how it's going to go. I think that would be kind of a flyer there a little bit, right? I think that would kind of be reaching there a little bit, but nonetheless, Aaron probably wants to be there. That's the best team left. If they're going to look for somebody besides J.J. McCarthy, that's the best team. You don't want to go to the Giants, Steelers. Okay, I guess. Add a DK Metcalf, that helps. I'll still take the Vikings offense and Kevin O'Connell in a big way. So if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm trying to get to Minnesota, but are you guys wanting him? Let's see what you say. 59% of the audience that has voted tonight, no, I can't root for the guy. You're that, it's that bad? You think Aaron Rodgers, you can't take Aaron Rodgers? Did you guys accept Brett Favre? I mean, my brother's a longtime Viking sufferer. He's a lifer. And My brother took Brett Favre in. He took Brett Favre in. When they flip that jersey and Aaron Rodgers has on that purple, you guys got to get it. You guys got to feel happy about that, do you? I've got my thoughts on this, but I'm asking you as well. Let's get to some of the listener reactions that are coming in. 605-720-1067 if you want to join the conversation on the question of the day. Would you welcome Aaron Rodgers as your next quarterback if you're a Vikings fan? Listener reaction: Aaron Rodgers is done. He's got nothing left in the tank except for his bad attitude. Not a bad take there. Not a bad take. 605-720-1067. Listener text: they bring in Aaron Rodgers after 50 years. I'll no longer be a Vikings fan. You're out? You're done? Oh, what do you mean after 50? Oh, you're a 50-year Vikings fan. Okay, I got you that. I thought you were saying Aaron was 50. He's close. He's close. Come on, it's joking Monday, right? Listener text: as your resident Packer fan, I think it'd be a good move if the Vikings did a rental like that. He's not washed up yet. Is that a real answer, or are you trying to appease the Vikings fans? That's all I want to know. Maybe it's the J.J. McCarthy era. Maybe it is. But would you be more comfortable to try Aaron out with this window with the players that you have right now? Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Did you run out of things to talk about over the weekend? That this had to be something you...
I'm not making it up.
Like this?
I'm not making it up. It's out there. It's out there.
It needs to go away. I mean, I loved Brett Favre. This can't happen. Aaron.
What?
No, hold on.
Okay, all right. Man, I was hearing myself. I was getting so wound up you had me hearing myself.
I wanted to make sure it echoed so you could see and hear the disappointment in my voice.
Why though? Why? Because you don't like him, or he's not good?
No. He's good. He's a cancer. In the locker room.
Okay, good point.
In my opinion, he hasn't gone anywhere. What's he done in a locker room setting where people are disappointed that he left?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
No, and Brett Favre was different. He was a gunslinger. He loved the game of football. It was more about the game, the team.
Yes.
Aaron's more about him.
All right, I got you on that. Thanks for the echo. I appreciate that. He wanted me to echo, so I said it over and over and over. Well, and it was him. Listener text coming in: Aaron Rodgers in Minnesota, please no. Really? It's that bad, guys? It's that bad? Listener text: I honestly would bring Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins back. Oh, careful. Careful now. Now you're going to get the Vikings fans. That portion that didn't want Sam, now they're right there. They don't want Kirk at all. I mean, they're the Kirk killers. I would bring in Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins back. You just can't throw J.J. McCarthy in there right now after coming off a significant injury. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. I don't know how this is going to go. It's down to Steelers, Giants. That's the teams that are trying to... The Steelers stay with Russell. The Giants need somebody. They're not going to roll with Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward right out of the gate. So they might try and get Aaron there. Would the Vikings make this play? Aaron, I'm sure, would love it. Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson. And I have a feeling if it breaks here, if this news breaks, all of you Vikings fans are going to say, here we go. Yeah. I mean, you guys are going to be excited. You guys are going to be excited. I can tell. I mean, you trying to tell me you're not. But as soon as Aaron Rodgers, if that broke here tonight, you would say, I am ready to rock and roll. Right? That's what you would say. Except for my votes here. Let's go to the votes. The polls continuing to show, as a Vikings fan, would you welcome Aaron Rodgers? 59% of you say, no, I can't root for the guy. 41% of you said, sure, let's give him one more run. That's a pretty high percentage. 41%. Give him one more run. By the way, I'm with the caller. I don't have a dog in this fight as a Broncos fan. But I'm with the caller. I don't think you can do that unless Kevin O'Connell just thinks, I'm such a good coach and a quarterback coach and a locker room culture guy that Aaron Rodgers will fit in our culture and we're going to be just fine. Maybe Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings, it's just such a great culture there, and I believe that. Maybe they think that he won't be a problem, but I think he's been a problem. But does he need a better situation than the Jets? Of course, Minnesota's a lot better than that. So I'm trying to talk you Vikings fans into this a little bit. But here's my problem, and I've said this on the show. Here's my problem. I know he's a drama guy. He's a me-first guy. I don't like him in the locker room. Teammates say, oh, he's a good guy. I don't like that. I don't like him in the locker room. But here's my deal. I actually don't think he's that good anymore. I'm not saying J.J. McCarthy's better. We have no idea. But I actually don't think Aaron Rodgers is that good anymore. People can fluff the last part of the last year, but I saw him at the Jets, and you did too. It was guns a-blazing right away, and it was nothing. There was nothing. He had young wide receivers. He had his own guys. He brought in Devontae Adams. I mean, everything. They did everything for him, and it was nothing. That's why I'm not so sure I would welcome him as a Vikings fan. Dane Mizutani's covering the Vikings. What does he say? Is this a wild idea? What are the Vikings going to do? Just roll with J.J. McCarthy? Vikings beat writer on a busy day from TwinCities.com. Dane Mizutani's next.
This is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Save big money on your next painting project right now at Menards. Give your room a grand finish with Pittsburgh Grand Distinction Interior Paint. It's a premium paint and primer with a tough, resilient finish that is ultra scrubbable and stain resistant. Save big on Pittsburgh Paint. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, Sioux Falls sports fans, there's a great new sports bar in Sioux Falls, Boston's Restaurant and Sports Bar on West Russell Street in the Ramada Water Park Hotel. If you want to watch games, UFC, they've got it, wall-to-wall TVs, and the best part, great food. Gourmet pizza at Boston's, tons of wing options, great burgers, and a lot more. Bring the family, bring the team, bring your crew to the new Boston's Restaurant and Sports Bar in Sioux Falls on West Russell Street. Plus, you can order online for lunch or dinner. Just go to bostons.com.
Mark your calendars. The 2025 Black Hills Home Builders Home Show is March 28th through the 30th at the Monument. Don't miss your chance to get inspired and take advantage of expert advice and exclusive deals. I'm Tom Chandler with WeatherTech Exteriors, inviting you to come connect with top-rated contractors. Explore the latest smart home solutions, check out eco-friendly materials, and transform your home. Visit BlackHillsHomebuilders.com today for more information and tickets. That's BlackHillsHomebuilders.com.
The best pre-owned vehicles are Honda True Certified Pre-Owned, and the only place to find them is at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda. Honda True Certified are protected by 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage and 2-year non-powertrain coverage. All are thoroughly inspected and include 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and a 7-day exchange. Check out our selection at honda-true.com or see us at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A red flag warning continues until 7 p.m. tonight. Mainly clear skies tonight with lows around 27. Northerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly sunny skies again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 64. Lows dip down to about 32. Tomorrow night, mainly clear skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 64 degrees.
Hey, sports parents and ballers of all ages, Rapid City has a new sports facility that you have to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street is the newest indoor sports facility featuring 4 full courts. E3 Sports is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships and court rentals are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org.
playoff coverage of high school boys basketball continues Tuesday on Fox Sports Rapid City. After a thrilling overtime victory in the region finals, the Hill City Rangers hope to punch their ticket to their first ever state tournament as the Rangers meet the Cheyenne Eagle Butte Braves in a Sodak 16 game Tuesday from Sturgis Brown High School West Gym. Join Dean Gurr and me, Jerome Wickersham, for the pregame show at 6:45, followed by the tip-off at 7. Catch the Rangers and the Braves Tuesday right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Hey, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on. Glad you're here. Monday edition. A lot to discuss tonight. You might know this, and we're going to start with the Vikings. Sam Darnold's no longer a Viking. He's a Seattle Seahawk. Dane Mizutani covering the Vikings. What's next for Minnesota at quarterback for sure? Do we know? Dane Mizutani, Vikings beat writer. His work at TwinCities.com. The Pioneer Press team there, TwinCities.com. He's on Twitter at Dane Mizutani. Dane, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good, Nate. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for your time on a busy day. So I'm going to get to the other stuff with the Vikings, but we got to start Sam Darnold. So he's going to get $55 million guaranteed, $33 million a year, I guess, short-term deal. What do you think the Vikings did there? Some people say, well, could they afforded this? Should they have tried to keep Sam Darnold for $55 million guaranteed?
No, I think in a perfect world for the Vikings, or in an alternate universe, let's say, I think they would have kept Sam Darnold around if the price was right on their end. And you've seen them do this in the Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell era. They'll draw a line in the sand, and they'll say, we're not crossing it. And if you want it, take it. And if you don't, move on. We saw it with Adam Thielen. We saw it with Danielle Hunter. We saw it with Kirk Cousins last year. So I think there was probably a number in their mind. If Sam Darnold was willing to take it, they'd bring him back. They'd have him compete with J.J. McCarthy for the job next year, and they'd move forward that way. He got paid pretty handsomely, albeit not quite at the level of a franchise tag and the $40 million mark, but $33 million per, plus $55 million guaranteed. That's a lot for the Vikings to pay for a guy that would probably be competing with J.J. McCarthy for the job in training camp. So they'll move forward. I think it's a good deal for Sam. He gets to go be the guy in Seattle, and it's a good situation for the Vikings. They get to now see what they have in J.J. McCarthy sooner rather than later. And I would assume they're going to try to sign a veteran, maybe a Daniel Jones if he doesn't go sign with the Indianapolis Colts. And then they'll just have kind of a wholehearted competition, see who wins out there. But the J.J. McCarthy era is coming, and I think we learned that today.
Okay, is this a wild goose chase that the Vikings could bring in Aaron Rodgers? Is that a wild goose chase?
I think, and this is totally conjecture on my part, not reporting, but when you start to see Aaron Rodgers' name pop up with the Vikings over the weekend, just with how random it felt. And I guess it was tied to, okay, the Seattle Seahawks just traded Geno Smith. They're going to target Sam Darnold. You saw the dominoes fall, and then all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers' name pops up. That, to me, felt like Aaron Rodgers, maybe himself, or certainly Aaron Rodgers and his representation, just floating his name, just trying to drum up some interest in a guy that might not have that much across the NFL. I think Aaron Rodgers will start at quarterback for somebody next year. I think when he was being tied to the New York Giants, that still makes sense as a landing spot for him. But if you're Aaron Rodgers and the Vikings exist, you might want to kick the tires and see if there is some interest on their part. They're certainly closer to the Super Bowl than the New York Giants are. So I think when you see his name get floated like that, like it did over the weekend, that's more his representatives rather than actual intel from within that building at TCO Performance Center. And that's just my take on it. I don't think he was actually really ever an issue or an option.
I want to ask you, if that were to happen, just give me a feel of Vikings Nation. if Aaron Rodgers is the Vikings QB, I've thrown it out to my audience. 59% say they couldn't root for him. But then I said, if it happened, guys, today, if it happened tomorrow, I think you guys would say, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Jefferson, here we go. What is the percentage of fans that maybe say, this is our chance?
Yeah, I think it would take approximately 15 seconds for a large chunk of Vikings fans to warm to Aaron Rodgers if that were to happen. He's a future Hall of Famer. For all the hoopla that comes with him, he is as good as it gets. He looked a little washed up last year. Some of that probably he is. Some of that probably is he was playing for the Jets. So I think if it were to happen, you'd get people on board pretty quickly. Again, though, don't know that it's happening. Don't think that it's happening. Sounds like Pittsburgh is kind of in pole position now for him at this point.
Okay, let me ask you. You said, okay, J.J. McCarthy era is coming. They might get a veteran to have there because, we saw they lost Mullins and, what's Daniel Jones going to do? We'll see. Is it risky, Dane? I mean, this is a rookie quarterback. We just saw a little bit in the preseason. How risky is it to just throw him out there in this Vikings window that they actually think we should win now?
Yeah, I think it's risky, but at the same time, what is the alternative? If the alternative was Sam Darnold at 3 years, $100 million, $55 million guaranteed, eating up a large portion of your salary cap, I would argue that's risky too. I think a year ago, signing Sam Darnold to a 1-year, $10 million contract for some people was viewed as risky, and that worked out well beyond their wildest dreams, going 14-3 before kind of petering out at the end. So, yes, in a vacuum, it is risky. J.J. McCarthy is unproven. J.J. McCarthy's coming off a torn meniscus. J.J. McCarthy didn't even really play that many offensive snaps and throw that many passes in college, often handed the ball off. That being said, they drafted that guy number 10 overall, and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell, when they took the job, they kind of circled him and said, hey, this is the draft class we want to get our guy. And they did. So I think at a certain point, I understand wanting to be careful with the guy. I understand being very focused on development rather than rushing him along. But you got to see what you got in him at some point, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing today. I think this is a day we'll remember, probably the day that they turn the page to the J.J. McCarthy era.
Dane Mizutani, couple more. I'll let him run. TwinCities.com for the work. He's the Vikings beat writer for the Pioneer Press. So what should Vikings fans think of? Not a lot of action right now. And you told me it's kind of hurry up and wait. Vikings are going to have cap space here. Not a lot of action, but some people would say, well, you can't spend A-plus money on B-plus players. Maybe you don't rush to this. Why do you think the Vikings they brought in Rodgers, that corner, nickel corner. What are the Vikings waiting for here?
I think they're letting the market play itself out. You look at some of the contracts that got signed today, and I think it's a lot of money that if the Vikings, all the people complaining about the Vikings not making moves, if they were to dole out some of the contracts we've seen, they would have been also upset with that. So it's the nature of the beast in the NFL. You're going to be upset if your team doesn't do anything, but then you're going to also be upset if they overpay. We saw a lot of overpays today. We saw the market jump to a level that we haven't seen. And I think credit to the Vikings for not necessarily jumping into that deep end of the pool unnecessarily. They found some value with Isaiah Rodgers, a guy who has some experience and might be able to take the next step with more snaps. They're still very much in on Byron Murphy Jr., a guy that they know they want to bring back. And they've missed out on some corners here. DJ Reed, Charvarius Ward, Paulson Adebo. All those guys maybe were options for the Vikings. If they still walk away with Byron Murphy Jr., I think it's okay for them. Interior of the offensive line, we saw Aaron Banks get crazy money today. He had, I think, roughly 40 starts under his belt for the San Francisco 49ers, and he signs for almost $20 million a year. So there's just a lot of guys out there that are getting a lot of money, and I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily that the Vikings are waiting. They haven't really missed out on anybody that you look at and you say, dang, I wish they had that guy. I think maybe DJ Reed, maybe Milton Williams. But again, those guys got really, really big paydays. I don't think it's a bad thing that the Vikings are kind of waiting here.
Okay, so, and they're not doing anything at quarterback right now. J.J. McCarthy there. Let's say Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers. Well, then Russell Wilson. What about Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I think if the Vikings had their pick at this point, based on some of the reporting out there, based on what I'm hearing, it would be Daniel Jones, just because they have some familiarity with him. He obviously signed on the practice squad last year, got to know the Vikings. They got to know him. I think with the understanding that this could be a marriage that exists down the road. So I think their first choice for, I guess, a competitive training camp, but also probably a guy who slides in and backs up J.J. McCarthy, I think that's Daniel Jones. Now, the only thing is Daniel Jones might decide, hey, if the Indianapolis Colts want to pay me more money than the Vikings and they want me to compete with Anthony Richardson, maybe Daniel Jones bets on himself and goes to Indy. But I think right now, if the Vikings had their choice to who's going to back up J.J. McCarthy this next season or who's going to push J.J. McCarthy ahead of next season, I think that guy's Daniel Jones.
Good stuff tonight. Dane Mizutani's on it. Vikings beat writer. Follow his work, twincities.com. Dane, great to have you. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. Yep.
Appreciate it. Dane Mizutani on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show with the Vikings beat writer on a busy day with free agency popping. Twincities.com, part of the Pioneer Press. Dane Mizutani on Twitter. Okay, so he said it's the J.J. McCarthy era. Daniel Jones, if they can hang on to him. You know what I say to that? Woof. Woofy. You know what that means? I don't feel good about that. If I'm the Vikings, I'm like, yeah, no Russell Wilson, no Aaron Rodgers. I mean, do you guys want to win right now? It's about winning. You want to get that first Super Bowl title. It's about winning. J.J. McCarthy is not going to give you the Sam Darnold season, so I hope we all understand that, right? But are we going to feel happier because J.J. doesn't cost anything, and he's just a rookie, so we're going to give him excuses stuff? It's like, it's about winning. And I think if J.J. McCarthy's just average and the Vikings aren't winning, there's going to be some upset folks. Or there should be. There should be. Because I think this plan, if that's how it plays out, you just roll it out with J.J. McCarthy for sure. I'm not so sure about that. Now, if you bring in an Aaron Rodgers, which is wild, what can you do? Can you bench Aaron Rodgers? I guess. If you bring in Russell Wilson, can you bench Russell Wilson? Well, just ask Sparky, Sean Payton. It was no problem. So I think you got to have a little better of a plan at QB than just J.J. and Daniel Jones for the team that you have. It's a team that just almost had the number one seed in the NFC. Now we're going to go to a rookie QB. It's like we got to make sure we're right in this mix here. We just act like J.J. is going to roll the ball out and just light it up. I doubt it. Coming right back, let's go to South Dakota with this big deal tomorrow at the legislature. They're going to be talking budget. They're going to be talking SDPB. This has been a story for the past month. Is South Dakota Public Broadcasting going to get a huge cut? Would that stop them from covering the high school state tournaments like we're going to see this week? Ryan Howlett, CEO, Friends of SDPB, with an update before this big deal tomorrow morning. Hang on.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Uh-oh, you have to open the old gliding door to the patio again, but that thing stopped gliding long ago. Did you know that your old, ugly, hard-to-open gliding door is probably the number one source of loss of heat in your home, and that broom handle lock is not secure? Renewal by Anderson's gliding patio doors are simply the best of the best, and Renewal has an incredible offer right now. Don't miss it. 20% off every door, plus no money down, no payments, no interest for 12 months. No payments until 26. Please book your free estimate right now at rbarapidcity.com and start gliding again.
Danny Mental Rapid Cadillac. Shop our best selection in years. We have 25 new Cadillacs available for immediate delivery. Get financing as low as 3.9% APR with up to a $1,000 purchase allowance on select models. Choose from all-wheel drive 2025 Lyriq EVs with a $7,500 federal tax credit. Get your new Cadillac right here in Rapid City at Danny Mental Rapid Cadillac or rapidcadillac.com. Bank the finance contract is limited. With qualified credit, expires 3/31/25.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Great news. I just got the State Farm personal price plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio across South Dakota. Thanks for being here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show on your afternoon drive. Appreciate it. Gary Sharp's coming up. He's the play-by-play man for Omaha. And after 12 years on the mic, covering play-by-play for Omaha, he's going to the NCAA tournament. I say that because broadcasters, man, they're part of the team. I did this all the way back when I covered high school sports. You get attached to these teams, and you kind of feel like, man, you're broadcasting, but you're rooting for the team. That's why they call us homers, right? Gary Sharp, Omaha men's basketball wins the Summit League, and they're going to the NCAA tournament. We'll talk to him coming up. Ryan Howlett's on tonight. Good to have him back. He's the CEO of Friends of SDPB. It's been an interesting month, no doubt, and we've talked about this story a lot. Well, tomorrow, the Joint Committee on Appropriations is meeting tomorrow morning, and they're going to be talking about budget setting, and that includes SDPB. Where do things stand? How does it feel going into tomorrow? And that's why we've got Ryan back on the show. Ryan, thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Nate, and nice to be back with your audience.
Well, I appreciate your time, so I'll get into it. This past month, I had you on at the beginning of this, and we talked about SDPB and all the good work you guys do, not just on the high school sports side. This is a sports show, but I've discussed it in various ways and all of the things you do, and the budget that was proposed would really hurt you guys in a big way. So since then, you've had hearings, you've had testimony. What was the story that you told, and how do you feel constituents in South Dakota are feeling today?
You know, the story that we told was really about local programming, and then some of the stuff that you might not see behind the scenes. Our towers and infrastructure is used for public safety across the state, and so somebody would have had to pick that up, but there was no savings there. It was part of our messaging, that if you cut SDPB to that degree, that's going to be really, really almost existentially devastating. So if you cut SDPB at that level, you're going to have to push those dollars somewhere else. And so we kind of led with public safety because we knew that's what the legislators were going to like the most. And then we went into it on the local programming, including high school sports, that, this will be gone because we won't have the dollars left to broadcast, to do local production anymore. So then we went into local production, public safety, a little bit about what our education department does and how they operate. And then we talked, the next line of thing was open government. We're like state legislature. We're your open government platform, that SD.net that streams every single committee meeting, every single general session. That comes from us, and you're going to spend that money somewhere else. And so that was kind of the core of our message. As far as to the people of the state of South Dakota, more than anything, I want to say a huge thank you to you folks, because the people that called and advocate and continue to do that for us, it really was a game changer. And so, we had a couple different budget hearings. We had a couple different working groups that studied this issue. I feel generally pretty positive going into tomorrow, but it's mainly what we said was one thing, but when y'all took action, and thousands of you did, almost every legislator I talked to was like, you guys and then the library cut are the two things that we've heard the most about this year. And so, thank you so much. That's to the audience. That's the one thing that I really want to come across with saying.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. We were touching on it on this show, saying, okay, here's the big picture of this. Now, I'm going to say, a lot of times when I followed government, I'm only a political science minor, Ryan. Okay, I'm not a major, but I was a minor. When there's something that's recommended to be cut, I am a little worried that it's going to be a haircut. Maybe it's not going to be a big cut, but it might be a haircut. What are you preparing for?
At this point, tomorrow, we have heard that the amendment that is going to go forward will be for full restoration of dollars, and so I'm sure that there'll be a discussion after that. For the most part, we had, if you went to any Cracker Barrels or saw any of the comments from some legislators over the weekend, they were talking very positively in terms of SDPB is going to have a full restoration if you follow some of those quotes. And so it's never done until it's done, obviously. And some of those folks weren't appropriations members. A couple of them were. I think Senator Miskimmons from Mitchell was said that. Al Northrup, the representative, who's the vice chair up in Aberdeen, he publicly said, "Hey, we're going to figure out a way to get SDPB fully funded." So those things have us fairly confident, but things change in a heartbeat. We thought that hearing was supposed to be today. It got pushed to tomorrow for some reason. That is not clear to us. So, we're going to be definitely nervous and pins and needles for the next 14, 16 hours until that meeting's done at noon tomorrow. But, at the end of it, I hope it's going to be okay.
Man, I really hope so as well. That's good news. We'll follow it. It's the Joint Appropriations Committee. They're going to be talking budget, and SDPB's in that category tomorrow at the South Dakota Legislative Session. Ryan Hallett's the CEO of Friends of SDPB. So I talked high school sports here. I just want to ask you about this. State tournaments are starting up. And I look at it and say, you guys have covered these for quite some time now. You're getting ready to start up girls' tournaments, boys' tournaments. When you look to the future, how do you see SDPB in high school sports?
When we look to the future, this is the final year of our contract with South Dakota High School Activities Association. They actually did reach out to us, and we started the process of what happens next for next year. Already, but I don't think you're going to see many changes as long as our funding is still there. I think it's going to be a continual improvement. This year we added esports, which to me, watching esports, I still don't really fully grasp it, man. But people were into it. We had a great response online, and the High School Activities Association, I give those guys a lot of credit for saying, this is our philosophy. We want coverage of every activity because only us and Nebraska do it this way, and then it's kind of hodgepodge to different states. And so they wanted to create something for everybody, and my kid's a competitive gymnast and she's on the competitive cheer team here in Harrisburg. And in every other state, those would not have gotten covered. And so for the high school activities to say, this is part of the culture and fabric of South Dakota of high school sports, and we want everything covered, I don't think there's any other station that could do it, I'm sure football and basketball would get picked up by somebody if we weren't doing it, but all of those other sports and the activities, band and debate and chorus and all the stuff that we covered, none of that would air.
Yeah, I think you guys do a great job. I've said that a lot. Know a lot of the broadcasters that have been a part of this over the years. Ryan Hallett, CEO of Friends of SDPB, on tonight. Just wanted a quick update as we await the Appropriations Committee meeting tomorrow, and we'll find out more about SDPB's budget. Hopefully it's good to go, Ryan. I appreciate you coming on. Best of luck. We'll stay in touch.
Yeah, thanks so much, Nate. I do want to say, pick up from the beginning, you're exactly right about the broadcasters being part of the team, and thank you for being part of our team on this issue. We appreciate you, Nate, and love the show.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Ryan Hallett's on tonight. Wanted an update from him, CEO of Friends of SDPB. And that meeting is tomorrow. It was supposed to be this morning. Joint Committee on Appropriations deferred their agenda to tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that. Matt Kearney here on the Nate Brown Show has been doing a good job covering that. So we'll stay on it, but it's good news. He sounds like full restoration of the budget, and that would mean good to go on all of the good work that they do, including what we've touched on a lot, high school sports and the state tournaments, which, of course, get going this week. We'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. All right, let's come back with the question of the day and more answers. As a Vikings fan, would you ever welcome Aaron Rodgers as your next QB? If you haven't heard it, I want your answer. 605-720-1067. That's the text line on this beautiful Monday. Would you welcome Aaron Rodgers? Be honest. We'll take a look at the answers next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Uh-oh, you have to open the old gliding door to the patio again, but that thing stopped gliding long ago. Did you know that your old, ugly, hard-to-open gliding door is probably the number one source of loss of heat in your home, and that broom handle lock is not secure? Renewal by Anderson's gliding patio doors are simply the best of the best, and Renewal has an incredible offer right now. Don't miss it. 20% off every door, plus no money down, no payments, no interest for 12 months. No payments until 26. Please book your free estimate right now at rbarapidcity.com and start gliding again.
Forecast. A red flag warning continues until 7 p.m. tonight. Mainly clear skies tonight with lows around 27. Northerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly sunny skies again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 64. Lows dip down to about 32. Tomorrow night, mainly clear skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 64 degrees.
March means big savings at Spearfish Motors. Save up to $6,250 on 2025 GMC Sierra Light Duty, or choose finance rates as low as 0.9% for 36 months. Save up to $2,750 on select GMC Sierra HDs. Plus, we've received truckloads of new GMC inventory. Check out a great selection of the all-new Acadia, Terrain, and Canyon. Hurry in today before the March savings drive away.
Online always at spearfishmotors.com. GMC
GMC, we are professional grade.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Find your fortune and fall for big wins during the Love and Luck promotion at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. Join us every Friday and Saturday night from 8 p.m. to midnight for prize drawings that grow bigger each hour. Then, don't miss the grand prize event on Saturday, March 29th, where 10 lucky winners will take home prizes ranging from $500 to $5,000. Let Love and Luck bring you big wins and even bigger thrills. Only at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort in Deadwood. How will your night play out?
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show live on a great day in South Dakota. Every day it's a great day in South Dakota. We know that. Motto of the show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Busy show tonight. If you missed parts of the show, we talked some Vikings. Yes, Sam Darnold's gone. You're so happy. You're celebrating today. Careful what you wish for. I'm going to die on that hill. I was on the Kirk Cousins hill. He was fine for the Vikes. Then he fell off a cliff in Atlanta, so they made the good call there. Is this the right call? Letting Sam, after a 35-touchdown season, walk. Now it's J.J. McCarthy. Is that it? Or is there a wild card in the back? Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah is going to pull out the wild card. Aaron Rodgers. Is he thinking about it? Would the Vikings ever do that? It's a window. You got a window. You're going to risk it with J.J.? You're going to throw Aaron out there. My question of the day on the Nate Brown Show tonight, yes, there's the dark horse stuff out there, reports on free agency here that Aaron Rodgers might be a dark horse to be the Vikings quarterback if they just quite aren't sure about J.J. rolling with him full steam ahead. So I asked you, as a Vikings fan, I want the Vikings faithful on this. There's so many of you in South Dakota. Would you welcome Aaron Rodgers as your next quarterback? That's a specific question. Would you welcome Aaron Rodgers as your next quarterback? Now, don't tell me you're going to root against Aaron Rodgers if he somehow ends up in purple tomorrow. Don't tell me you would root against him. No way. I don't believe any of you. But look at this. 59% of the audience has voted on Twitter at Nate Brown Show. 59% no, I wouldn't welcome him. Can't root for the guy. Oh, I get it. What would that be like? That would be like me as a Broncos fan bringing in Patrick Mahomes here in about 7 years. You think I would root for Pat? You better believe I would root for Pat. What's wrong with you guys? I would be all over this. It's too risky with just J.J. McCarthy. You can have fun with it. Have fun, everybody, right? But, it's going to be risky. So 59% of you say you can't root for him. 41% of you, though, I like it. Give him one more run. Listener text, Rodgers is no Brett Favre. I don't care about stats. Favre is tough. Okay? Listener text, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback for my Vikes, no thank you. Not appealing to me at all. Oh, my. Okay. One more. No Aaron Rodgers for the Vikings. He's over the hill, and his skills have diminished since his injury. Youch. Tough crowd. I didn't expect Aaron to be really loved, but I hate to tell you, skill-wise, talent-wise, the window, I would take Aaron Rodgers right now if I'm the Vikings. I don't think he's that good anymore, but I know he's better than J.J. McCarthy, at least right now. I know that. Well, no, you don't know that. J.J., man. Well, J.J. we haven't seen. We haven't seen him. So I would welcome him, but I'm not a Vikings fan, so I can be objective and just fair and balanced today on Fox Sports Radio. Thanks for calling. One call on this. You're live, and you go ahead.
Nate, I can't think of anything worse. It would just be so awful if the Vikings actually won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't know how to handle that.
Oh, no, it'd be wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful.
No, I'd be so conflicted.
Did you cheer for Brett Favre? He had you on the doorstep. Did you cheer for Brett?
I did cheer for Brett, but he's a good guy.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is weird.
Okay. Well, that's the difference. That's a big difference. Yep. It is. Thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate it. I mean, that's a factor. Aaron is me first, goofy, darkness retreats. He could get in some good darkness up there in Minnesota, though. Some good darkness there. The frozen tundra of Minnesota in the winter. This daylight savings, is everybody happy about this? So much lighter right now on the Nate Brown Show in the second hour. It is lighter, and we're happy. Spring is almost here, and Aaron Rodgers could be in the mix for the Vikings. Spring. It sounds fresh. That would be fresh. Into the second hour, I got to get into this, okay? I got to get into this. State tournament starting up. So we got girls' state tournaments this week. AA girls in Rapid City at the Monument. AA boys in Rapid City next week. So back-to-back AA in Rapid City. There is a problem with the AA state tournament format. And I'm not just being a butthead, okay? There is a problem with the state tournament format in AA. And I think we can agree on this next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Who's gotten this text? Please pick up milk and bread on your way home. Milk is easy, skim or 2%, but with so many choices, the bread aisle can be a bit much. Thankfully, I'm friends with Loafy. He gave me a tip that makes finding the perfect loaf as simple as he is. For the only bread that's baked locally and delivered fresh daily, just look for the Country Hearth logo on the package. And not only is it the best, dozens of Country Hearth products now have also lower prices. So the next time you're lost in the bread aisle, take it from Loafy and look for Country Hearth.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Our locally owned Ace stores are committed to helping our neighbors and our communities. And because we're in the neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Stihl, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know how to help. See acehardware.com for details.
Are you thinking about starting or expanding a business? At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our dedicated business lending team focuses on understanding our members' unique needs and truly wants to help them succeed. From the loans to get your business off the ground to the accounts to keep it running, we offer unique products with your business's best interest in mind. Learn more at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is a member-owned, not-for-profit.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Who is it?
You're Prince Charming.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I've been calling to you, Rapunzel. Rapunzel, let down your golden
golden hair for days.
I didn't hear you. The witch got the tower new replacement windows from Renewal by Andersen.
Didn't you wonder where I was?
Not really. My new windows are very energy efficient, keeping my tower very comfortable, and they have greatly reduced the noise levels.
What noise? You live in a forest.
Well, a certain needy prince is constantly yelling my name.
Do you not love me anymore?
Oh, quit being so dramatic.
Dramatic? Moi?
Yes, and Renewal by Andersen exclusively offers gorgeous ensemble security doors, safe and durable.
Do they?
You should get them for the castle along with new Acclaim replacement windows.
If I do, will you marry me?
Let's not rush it. And Prince Charming, get the windows for you, not me.
Oh, wait. Windows. For me?
Does your castle need new windows? Discover Acclaim windows and ensemble entry doors, custom fit and exclusive to Renewal by Andersen. Free consultations. Visit RBARapidCity.com.
One more time. This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
One more time. Welcome back in, second hour of the program, and it's still light out most of the places across. I love that. Matt Kearney, the producer of the Nate Brown Show, is the only guy that loves the darkness of winter. He's the only guy. Is that right? We could put that out as the question of the day sometime, because I believe it would be unanimous. Now, I didn't love the early start yesterday. We lose an hour of our life. Do we? Do we get that hour back? We lose an hour, but now we're feeling good. It's fresh, warm across South Dakota. Welcome in, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. I might have to come up with that daylight savings question of the day for Matt Kearney. He likes the darkness. Too bad it's light out. And in the second hour of the Nate Brown Show, Gary Sharp's coming up, the Omaha men's basketball program. What a story there. I know the Jacks lose, USD loses, but Omaha picked 8th in the Summit League to start the year. They go on a run. They didn't start out great, and then they go on a run, and now they're in the NCAA tournament. They win the Summit League yesterday in Sioux Falls at the Premier Center. Gary Sharp's the play-by-play man for Omaha men's basketball, and we'll talk to the Mavs play-by-play man coming up, Gary Sharp, on Making the Dance. He's been doing play-by-play there for 12 years. Also, how about this story in high school hoops? Hill City boys basketball. Are you aware of this? Hill City. They haven't had a shot like this. I mean, you go back, I don't know when, to go to the State A boys basketball tournament in the Sodak 16. They haven't been in the Sodak 16. I know that. So they get a shot tomorrow night. Hill City, after beating St. Thomas More, they're going to be playing Cheyenne Eagle Butte for a chance to go to the State A boys tournament. Hill City's program on the rise, 18 wins. And their head coach is Laramie Harvey. He'll be on the show for the first time coming up this hour, talking high school hoops. Speaking of that, let's throw out the Pizza Ranch studio hotline. If you want to be part of the show, 605-720-1067. Pizza Ranch studio hotline. Powered by the Pizza Ranch at 3809 East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Also in Brandon and 2 locations in Rapid City. Home of everyone's favorite buffet. You know that is the Pizza Ranch hotline, 605-720-1067. The Barron's Wilson text line open as well. You can text the show. Same number, 605-720-1067. Speaking of boys basketball, girls basketball, whichever. Here's what's going on with the state AA tournament. It comes up every year. It happens every year, and I still don't get it. I don't understand it. We have these inconsistencies from AA to A to B. You know, we have these inconsistencies with postseason. And here's the big one. So follow me on this. The AA Sodak 16, this is where they play the one game, 1 against 16, 2 against 15. If you don't follow it closely, then that's the one game to get the 8 teams into the state tournament. So here's what happens. If there is an upset, like the 10 seed beats the 7, let's say the 10 seed in boys basketball beats the 7 in the Sodak 16. Well, you would think if the 10 seed's the lowest seed left, they would have to play the number 1 team, right? No, that's not it. That's not right. They just keep it who you're matched up against. So, boys basketball next weekend in AA, for example, I use that example, Sioux Falls Jefferson is the 10 seed. They get to play the 2 seed, not the 1 seed. Who has to do that? Spearfish. So if you're following me on all this seed talk, basically what I'm telling you is if there is any upset, you could have the 14 seed win over the 3 seed. And the 14 seed may not be in that 14-1 matchup. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. So how does that help that make sense to me? I've got the lowest seed, but if I somehow pull off the upset, I get to jump over teams in the state tournament field now? That's how AA does this. And I said, that's the problem with the format. We don't reseed it. This is like saying, well, it's basically the state tournament starts in the SODAC 16 then. Instead of 3 games of the state tournament, we make it 4. Why? And I actually have a listener reaction that's saying that. I'm asking you, should the AA state tournament reseed the field? If you have any upsets, coaches, anybody, you can chime in on this. If there's any upsets in the SODAC 16, those teams that win, like the 10 seed, now they get a better matchup than Spearfish, who had a better seed. Spearfish is the 8 seed. They got to play the 1. They got to play Sioux Falls Lincoln next weekend. Spearfish has a better seed for the regular season, yet we don't value it, so we negate it. So I don't get that. However, Class A and Class B, they do reseed for the state tournaments. That's my bigger issue. If you want to get them to talk about basketball, how you seed stuff, can we just be consistent? B, A, and AA. Why do we have different formats for different classes? I have no clue. And I know it's been talked about, it's been discussed. And why is AA different than A and B? I just don't get it. So let me ask you this. Should the AA state tournament reseed the field based on any upsets? Like if you have a lower seed, if you're the lowest seed left, you should have to play the number 1 team. Why do the lower seeds not have to play the number 1 team? They just play who's in front of them in the bracket. A and B reseed, AA does not. It's something that comes up every year, and I'm just mystified why this does not change. 605-720-1067. Would you reseed the field if you had a 16 seed win over a 1? Guess what? They wouldn't have to play the highest ranked team left. They'd get a better, that's just the way it is. Sorry, they get to play the 8 seed. Yeah, if you somehow had a 16 seed win, think about this. If the 16 seed beat the number 1, like in March Madness, something crazy happened, the 16 seed would get to play the 8 seed. They wouldn't have to play the 2nd seed. You follow this now. That's how goofy that is. So we get the 16 seed gets to jump over everybody, and they get to play the 8 seed because that's just the way. We don't want to change the bracket around. I'm lost on it. I would reseed it. Class A and Class B do it. AA just rolls with it. Listener reaction here. Well, why stop at this? Maybe the 1 seed should get the lowest seed all the way left and get to play the worst team in the semifinals too. I think AA does it right, says this listener, Todd. I don't know how that could be. I think AA does it wrong. Class A and Class B do it right. Listener reaction. I have no idea why AA does things differently than A and B. The inconsistency throughout the state is mind-boggling, quite honestly. All right. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I really am. So should AA state tournament, you're looking at it, they just play who's in front of them. They don't reseed it. So if you're a low seed, you get a huge advantage if you get an upset. If you get an upset in the SODAC 16, you get a big reward, a huge reward. If you just win in the SODAC 16, sorry, it doesn't matter. You just have to play. Yeah, hey, it's great that you won. You just have to play who's lined up with you. We're not going to reseed it based on the teams left. 71% of you voting in the poll tonight. Yes, we should reseed the field for the AA state tournament. I am with 71%. 29% say just keep it as is. The 8-9 teams will always play the 1. And that's what I don't get. If the 8-9 teams aren't the lowest team left, why should we have the 14 seed jump over the 8 and 9? The 14 seed gets to jump over the 8 and 9. It's bizarre, but we'll see if we ever get that tweaked. A and B reseed, AA just keeps it the same. If there's upsets, sorry. It's just the way we're going to play it out. I think you're reseeded. It's the state tournament does not start until the state tournament. It doesn't start in the SODAC 16. It starts in the state tournament. Let's come back with Gary Sharp. We've got him next. Omaha play-by-play man coming up live.
I'm not saying this is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Uh-oh, you have to open the old gliding door to the patio again, but that thing stopped gliding long ago. Did you know that your old, ugly, hard-to-open gliding door is probably the number one source of loss of heat in your home, and that broom handle lock is not secure? Renewal by Anderson's gliding patio doors are simply the best of the best, and Renewal has an incredible offer right now. Don't miss it. 20% off every door, plus no money down, no payments, no interest for 12 months. No payments until 26. Please book your free estimate right now at RBARapidCity.com and start gliding again.
Visit Gateway Tire and Alignment and see why nobody beats a Gateway deal.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A red flag warning continues until 7 p.m. tonight. Mainly clear skies tonight with lows around 27. Northerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly sunny skies again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 64. Lows dip down to about 32. Tomorrow night, mainly clear skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 64 degrees.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. With today's home values, right now could be a great time to sell your home. The Black Hills housing market is competitive, and I would love to help you get top dollar for your home. I have been selling real estate and attracting buyers in Rapid City for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. If you're thinking of selling your current home, let me put my expertise to work for you. Just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker. List it, sell it, and move on. With me, David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live every afternoon drive. Just getting the week started. Thanks for being here on a Monday. The Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio. Stream us all the time on X, at Nate Brown Show. So if you're on X/Twitter, whatever you call it, we're there streaming live. And watch us on your phone, at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show and interact with the question of the day. See our guest lineup, all that good stuff. At Nate Brown Show. We're live right now. Gary Sharp's on. Appreciate his time. It's been a little busy. Celebrating, right? I said this. I've covered high school basketball over the years and covered a team for, I think, 8 years. You become part of the thing there. You know the players, the coaches, the families. You become part of the team, whether I know you're a broadcaster, but you're part of the team. So Gary Sharp's been covering Omaha basketball. They make the NCAA men's basketball tournament. They win the Summit League yesterday in Sioux Falls. 1620 The Zone. He's also on there. Can they give him a day off at all? Gary, thanks for coming on. How are you?
Hey, Nate, thank you. And also, thank you. You always ask about Omaha men's basketball, and usually I have bad news for you. And I'm like, it's not a very good year. Last night was a really, really good night in the Falls.
Yeah. This is historic. And you said, I saw a quick interview. You said this is big for Omaha. They need to be good at basketball. Explain that for the university, the brand, what this does.
Well, they have a really good hockey program, and they've been Division I in hockey for a lot longer than the rest of the athletic department when they made the transition to Division I. This was the 14th year that the men's basketball has been Division I. And at Omaha, hockey is the top sport, but men's basketball needs to hold up their end of the bargain. And finally, they broke through. And I think for the next week, there's going to be so much attention on Omaha, not the city, but the athletic program, the men's basketball program. I mean, that's advertising that you cannot buy. And they really, they're on a run. It's a great story. The trash can, they're really, really good as well. But it changes the dynamics of an athletic department. When you go to the NCAA tournament, men's basketball, I mean, next Sunday, there's going to be a line that's going to be announced on the selection show that will include Omaha. And it changes the perception of your school. People pay more attention. They go, oh, it's more than a city. They actually have a school there. So there were so many things about last night. But you know what? That's a good basketball team that is playing in Omaha. And they showed it. They beat a really, really good St. Thomas team last night and kind of controlled the game. And, it was one of those things. I will tell you this also, Nate. They got the automatic berth into the tournament late Saturday night when St. Thomas beat North Dakota.
Yeah.
And the reaction was very subdued because guys didn't want to go to the NCAA tournament on a technicality.
Yeah.
They didn't want an asterisk. They wanted that championship, and they went out last night and proved it.
Yeah, that's an interesting point because Omaha's in. Well, we want to go out and win this thing. And they did at the Summit League tournament. Omaha men's basketball, the Summit League champs, getting into the NCAA tournament. Gary Sharp's the play-by-play man for Omaha, also on 1620 The Zone in Omaha. So you're a play-by-play guy, been doing this 12 years for them. I said you kind of get attached to the program. Talk about your emotions here. You're a broadcaster, but there's an emotional connection there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And especially when you're at like a Summer League school where either it's John at South Dakota or Tyler at South Dakota State, your group is kind of small. So the broadcaster gets to know everybody more in an intimate role where, you know their family, you know everything about them. And that's the same thing here at Omaha. And me doing it 12 years, Nate, I went through a transition. A guy who was a really good friend of mine, Darren Hansen, he got fired. And that was difficult to navigate because now you have a bunch of new people that are coming in that you have no idea who they are, and you spent the last 9 years building up a relationship with Coach Hansen and his staff. New guys come in, and you're like, okay, is this going to work out? And it's turned into a great friendship, relationship, and of course, most importantly, on the floor for basketball. But yeah, as a broadcaster, you get close to guys. You hear their stories. You get to know players, and it was kind of. One of the things about last night and winning like that is I heard from a lot of former players, that have been through Omaha when I've been doing the games, and that was rewarding. That last night was for the current guys, the current staff, but for everybody else that has really grinded to try and get Omaha men's basketball on the map.
What did you think of SDSU men getting knocked off early?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that helped Omaha is Omaha stayed healthy the entire year. Owen Larson going down really changed the dynamic for South Dakota State. I mean, really good guard, point guard, running the show. They just could not find their footing after he went down. Same way with South Dakota. They lose a big man, and they were kind of thrown off kilter. I mean, I think those are two teams that they're fully healthy. It might be South Dakota State and South Dakota playing in the final. St. Thomas was dinged up a little bit, but South Dakota State, either St. Thomas or South Dakota State will be the preseason favorite in the league next year, and you go, oh, whoa. I thought the portal really messes up the Summit League. But South Dakota State has a good core. They have young guards. I love their backcourt. Clough is going to move on to back up to a Power 5 school. But the injury to Larson really, really derailed them in a season that, was a little bit choppy, but they definitely had enough pieces to win, 3 in 3 days in Sioux Falls.
Talking to Gary Sharp, he's back from Sioux Falls. Long night, short night. Either way you look at it, Omaha wins it. Summit League champions now go to the NCAA tournament. So I look at it, these guys were picked 8th preseason and didn't start out great and then went on a run here, 22 wins. What did you see here? What's this Omaha makeup?
Well, during the summer, they all the coaches were like, man, we could be good. But like most Summit League teams, you got to play a tough non-con because you play buy games to make a little money for the rest of the athletic department, and you'll take your lumps. And you're playing, we're playing at Hilton Coliseum against Iowa State. We're going out to UNLV. We're playing up at the barn against Minnesota. And you're hoping to steal one of those, but more than likely you're going to get beat by 20 to 25, and it's what you learn through that process because it's all about the conference season. Are you prepared for the conference season? And Omaha turned the corner, Nate, had a come-from-behind win on a Saturday on the 4th of January in Fargo against North Dakota State, and I think it made guys believe that they could do this. And it kind of carried throughout the year, and they're built different. If you watch the games on national TV the last 2 nights, they don't look like a normal Summit League team. They're long, they're very athletic, they're very good defensively, and so they were built to win the league, and they knew they were good, and they just needed to back it up. And once they got a little bit of confidence, they just took off.
So what type of seed are we looking at realistically?
Well, it was kind of funny. We're all doing the math. When you get into the tournament officially on Saturday night, you're like, okay, if you lose on Sunday, you're probably going to Dayton for the play-in game. But then you have the regular season and postseason, and I think Omaha's played themselves into a 15. Okay. And you know this, Nate. You've been in this business long enough. You know they like storylines. How about I give you this? In the day and age of the portal and in the Summit League and moving up, what if we had in Cleveland number 2 Michigan State and number 15 Omaha with the Frankie Fiddler factor?
Yeah, I love that. By the way, Michigan State's always this time of year. I don't know if I love that if I'm Omaha, but you know how they look. Okay, Gary, I want to get your read on the Summit League in Sioux Falls. So what do you think of the tournament there? There's been other markets like, well, maybe we should get this tournament. If I'm the Summit League, I think it's been a great success in Sioux Falls. What was it like this weekend?
Well, I love the tournament in Sioux Falls. I think the people that put it on do a great job. The town talks about it. Of course, the South Dakota State fans show up. There were more South Dakota fans on Saturday night when we played the Yotes than I've seen in a long time. So I love the tournament there, but I don't have a vote and I don't have a say when the athletic directors are sitting with each other. They have an option for the upcoming year, and then after that, it's wide open. I also love the change that they got it where it ended on the weekend. I think it was important to have it on Saturday and Sunday because if not, you and I are talking, and it's the semifinals tonight. I think the only place that it would go if it did not stay in Sioux Falls would be Minneapolis. I don't think there's any other markets. But the thing that it'll come down to is the voices outside of South Dakota. How much weight do they carry if this tournament actually moves out of Sioux Falls? I like it in Sioux Falls, but I know enough coaches and ADs that are like, I think we need to explore our options. So it's kind of a wait and see right now, and it would be a huge financial loss for Sioux Falls, and there's no guarantee that if you move it to the Twin Cities and you play at the Target Center, that it would draw like the men and women both do in Sioux Falls.
One of the storylines of the crowd was they moved the students around. They got some, better seating, so we call it VIP seats, and some of the students got moved around because Summit League said there's not enough students coming.
Yeah, and I get the reasoning. Two things can be true. I get the reasoning, and I hate it. They did have premium seating behind the baskets at, like a couple of rows where they usually put the students, and then the students got put way up in the upper level of the Denny Sanford Premier Center. So I didn't like that, but I get it. If the students aren't going to show up, and let's be honest, in this league there are very few places, not everybody's built like Brookings, where their students are going to show up in mass.
Right.
It's a slow process to get people to be Summit League basketball fans. So I'm hoping that they can find an in-between ground. of getting the students involved, but also taking care of the people that want that premium seating. Because at the end of the day, the Summit League needs to make money off this tournament. They do, and if they can find a way to make a little bit more, I mean, I think that's what they're looking at. So that's why the whole dynamic of what happens in the future of the tournament is going to be fascinating. And then also what happens with expansion in the Summit League. You know, they have 9. St. Thomas moves into a new arena next year. They're going to be a powerhouse, and they're going to be eligible for the tournament. Is there more teams that are coming, whether they're located out west or located south? So this is kind of an interesting time for Josh Fenton, the commissioner of the Summit League, on some decisions that are going to kind of shape the next 5 years of the Summit League. And then, oh, by the way, we have revenue sharing coming in the middle of the summer.
Really good stuff with Gary Sharp on a short night after a celebration for Omaha winning the Summit League men's title and going to the NCAA tournament. Last one really quick, Nebraska basketball. Yep. Nebraska. Was this a meltdown here? How big of a disappointment are Husker fans?
Roster construction was very, very poor out of the portal. Guys didn't fit, never seemed to gel together. A lot of people are upset here. I think Fred Hoiberg is hard to fire, Nate. I think he'll get another year, but you have to make the decision. Do you believe in Fred? Do you believe in Fred enough if you're a booster to reach into that pocket and help him build the roster? Or as an athletic director, do you value men's basketball? We'll find out those in the next week or so.
Gary, thanks for coming on. Congrats to you. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. Gary Sharp on the Nate Brown Show, one of our favorites, Omaha play-by-play man for the last 12 years. They finally get to the top in the Summit League, winning the men's championship yesterday at the Denny. Gary Sharp, play-by-play man for Omaha Mavs basketball, 1620 The Zone. His show's on each morning. Short night for Gary, and now he's going to the NCAA tournament. He says there'll be about a 15 seed. That's usually where the Summit League's been landing, usually. So we'll see where Omaha sits there. SDSU gets bounced early. It was a nice team for SDSU. I thought nice team, still a lot to build on here with some young guys. Clough's a big timer, so that's going to hurt, but a lot to build on with some young guys for SDSU. And then USD's style, I thought they were right in the mix too, but Omaha makes the run. Somebody came on the show last week and said it's going to be Omaha. It's going to be Omaha making the run all the way through, and they did it. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show. So there was the richest contract in the NFL was just signed. Okay, we're going to discuss that, and we'll go to Hill City boys basketball. This is a story in South Dakota high school hoops. They have a shot tomorrow. First time ever in the Sodak 16 to make the State A boys tournament. Their head coach, Laramie Harvey, on reviving the Hill City boys basketball program on the way.
This is South Dakota's sports talk show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Home really is the place to be. Landscapes by Forever Lawn can give your home the lush, natural grass appearance you expect without the work. Our premium materials and construction create a low-maintenance experience of transformational beauty and exceptional wear performance, allowing you time to enjoy your family and friends. Call 605-831-9026 or Google Forever Lawn in South Dakota. With dealerships on both sides of the state, we're ready to help you make one of the best upgrades you can add to your home sweet home. Forever Lawn in South Dakota.
Do you have a financial game plan for your life? Hi, this is Lee Cruz, your local trusted New York Life agent here in Rapid City. My passion is helping you put the pieces in place for your family to make sure your game plan is a success. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping people like yourself take action in securing their future. Don't wait, take action and Google Lee Cruz New York Life or call 605-360-8804. We will work together on putting your family first.
Looking for a new sport utility? Looking for one that's easy on the gas bill? We have them at Danny Mantle Rapid Chevrolet. Over 50 to choose from, most with the exclusive Danny Mantle discount, including 23 all-new 2025 Equinoxes, plus Traverse, Tahoe, Suburban, Trailblazer, and Trax. Finance terms to fit every budget. Rates as low as 2.9% APR. See us at Danny Mantle Rapid Chevrolet or DannyMantleRapidChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Length of finance contract is limited on select models. With qualified credit, expires 3/31/25.
Win a brand new car when you play at Tin Lizzie Gaming Resort this month. We've got a 2024 Chevy Trax from Queen City Motors, and it's ready to go to the lucky winner of our Easy Street Grand Prize drawing. Getting entered to win is so easy. We'll give you one free entry every day you come in and play with your clubhouse card. Then get an additional entry for every 100 points you earn. The drawing will be held March 29th, so get in today and start earning entries to win a brand new Chevy Trax. It's all happening at Tin Lizzie Gaming Resort, located on historic Main Street in Deadwood.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Hey Rush fans, it's Rob at the Firehouse Skybox. We are your official home for Rapid City Rush hockey. When the Rush are playing on the road, join other Rush fans at the Skybox and enjoy some great food and cheer on your Rush. We show every Rush away game and we'll have Rush-themed giveaways every road trip. You'll get a chance to win great Rush prizes with the purchase of a drink or food item. The Skybox has the best food and the best Rush game day experience. Go Rush!
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live. Fox Sports Radio this hour, driven by Summit Automotive Group. When it comes to pre-owned in South Dakota, start at SummitAutoGRP.com. Car buying built around you, not just the right vehicle, but the right treatment, the right selection. Of course, car buying built around you means from start to finish. Make it happen, SummitAutoGRP.com. Take a look for pre-owned. All right, Laramie Harvey's coming up. He's the Hill City boys basketball coach. I wanted to reach out to Coach, man. They've done some good work. Hill City, small school, not one of those programs that's been a powerhouse, but look what Hill City's done this past year. Football run, a football playoff run, and then you get that good group of athletes. Now they got a basketball run. They're one game away from the State A boys basketball tournament. So we'll talk to the head coach after an 18-win mark right now. They're getting set for Cheyenne Eagle Butte tomorrow in the Sodak 16. They win it, and they're in the State A boys basketball tournament. We'll talk to Coach Laramie Harvey about the story, what's been the difference for Hill City boys athletics. I want to go to this NFL story before I get to Hill City. So you're going to see there's all these changes in the NFL, and it's hard to follow a little bit. I'm doing it all day, and I run someplace. I ran into a listener. He's like, hey, did you see this? You see, everything's popping right away. DK Metcalf to the Steelers. Devontae Adams going to be with the Rams. Justin Fields, quarterback for the Jets. Sam Darnold to the Seahawks, and the list goes on. Then you're going to see this big story, and it's getting a little overlooked, but you're going to see it, that Josh Allen, my boy, yes, I admit, my boy, Josh Allen, signs the biggest contract ever. Signs the biggest contract ever. So you got, oh, man, Josh Allen just got the Bills, small market team. How are they going to waste all this money? Because you always hear, if you sign a quarterback to a huge deal, what happens? They take up the salary cap. You can't build around him, and you got a problem. Here's what you're not going to hear, as I looked into this today. Yes, it's a 6-year, $330 million deal. Over $250 million fully guaranteed. We're talking Deshaun Watson. No, yeah, whoops. We're talking Deshaun Watson numbers. But this is Josh Allen, and they did it early. And if you really look into it, he's going to be making like $55 million a year a few years from now. He's going to be making $55 million. That's a nice number. But Dak Prescott is making more than that right now. Dak Prescott per year on an annual basis is hitting the Cowboys harder per year than Josh Allen will 3-4 years from now. So forget about now. Josh Allen did a big deal. It's a team-friendly deal. When you really look at it, this is how the Tom Brady deal worked. This is even how Patrick Mahomes, I'll give him credit, he worked his deal like this. So everybody gets hung up, this much money, all of this money. Josh Allen's going to be with the Bills through 2030. It's going to be through 2030. So they got him locked in, and the annual salary really is less than Dak Prescott's hitting him for now. And if you look at this annual value, Deshaun Watson's in there. Dak Prescott's in there. So if you're telling me I got Josh Allen for less than Dak Prescott on an annual deal, and we know the difference, right? That's a good deal for the Bills. So a lot of people, the richest deal. Yeah, it's a big deal. I would pay Josh Allen too, but he did it the right way, and I don't think the Bills are going to fall off anytime soon. It's the Mahomes type thing. It's the Brady type thing. Save a little bit. They work the numbers around to be salary cap friendly so you can get players. Josh Allen probably could have loaded it up. Should he have said, hey, I want as much as Dak per year, $60 million. He's going to get $55 million even a few years from now. The deal's even going to look better then. Who's going to be making, when's the quarterback going to hit what? $70 million. Is there going to be a quarterback that hits $70 million? Josh Allen and the Bills did a deal. It's big, but it's a team-friendly deal. I think it's something to note today. Coming right back with Hill City boys basketball coach Laramie Harvey. What a season for this program next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Uh-oh, you have to open the old gliding door to the patio again, but that thing stopped gliding long ago. Did you know that your old, ugly, hard-to-open gliding door is probably the number one source of loss of heat in your home, and that broom handle lock is not secure? Renewal by Anderson's gliding patio doors are simply the best of the best, and Renewal has an incredible offer right now. Don't miss it. 20% off every door, plus no money down, no payments, no interest for 12 months. No payments until 26. Please book your free estimate right now at RBARapidCity.com and start gliding again.
Fox Sports Rapid City Forecast. A red flag warning continues until 7 p.m. tonight. Mainly clear skies tonight with lows around 27. Northerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly sunny skies again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 64. Lows dip down to about 32. Tomorrow night, mainly clear skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 63.
Playoff coverage of high school boys basketball continues Tuesday on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Hill City Rangers hope to punch their ticket to their first ever state tournament as the Rangers meet the Cheyenne Eagle Butte Braves in a Sodak 16 game Tuesday from Sturgis Brown High School West Gym. Join Dean Gurr and me, Jerome Wickersham, for the pregame show at 6:45, followed by the tip-off at 7. Catch the Rangers and the Braves Tuesday right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on. Monday edition, packed show tonight from high school to college to the pros. Try and get you covered each day and just getting your week started. Thanks for making us a part of your day and making this show possible. South Dakota Sports Talk Show across South Dakota on Fox Sports Radio. We had Dane Mizutani on tonight, Vikings beat writer, to get us going. Sam Darnold's no longer a Viking. Big story today. Ryan Howlett came on from SDPB. He's the CEO of Friends of SDPB. A big hearing tomorrow with the Joint Appropriations Committee. Well, they're going to actually set the budget when it comes to SDPB and what's that look like for high school sports, all the state tournament coverage we've enjoyed over the years. We'll find a little more out tomorrow. I had a preview from Ryan Howlett tonight. Talked Summit League with Gary Sharp, play-by-play man for Omaha. They just won the Summit League men's title last night. And Omaha go to the NCAA Tournament Summit League champs. Now high school hoops on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Well, Hill City, I'm looking at this saying, wait a minute. Hill City's athletic program's making some noise here. Their football team went on a playoff run. Didn't end in a state title, but went on a playoff run. And now the boys basketball team's close to the State A tournament. They got a game. Sodak 16 matchup tomorrow. They're going to be playing it in Sturgis against Cheyenne Eagle Butte. The winner goes to the State A Boys Tournament. Hill City's 18 wins on the year. Their head coach, Laramie Harvey, on tonight on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Coach, good to get you on. How are you?
I'm good, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I got to ask you, Hill City, people think about the past, and, it hasn't been like winning all the time. And now I look and say, what's the difference here, Coach? You've been there for a few years now. What's the difference here with this bunch? Sometimes these small schools, I've been a part of them, you have good classes. Is that what we got going on right now with Hill City boys?
We certainly have some of that going. Group of seniors, we're a veteran team. They've been playing together since they were little kids, and a handful of them, when I took over as, their freshman year, have been getting a lot of minutes since then. But, yeah, absolutely. It's a great class of kids, both athletically and just more importantly as humans. It's just a great group.
Okay, so it doesn't just happen, though, like, we got some good athletes. So what have you done to build it here, to build this program? You're not to the State A tournament yet. You got a big game tomorrow night, but you haven't been this far at Hill City boys basketball. What has it taken here to build this? Just
time in the gym and time together. I mean, it really kind of our formula. I mean, in the summer, getting in as much as we can, taking them around to a handful of camps every summer. So, no secret.
Yeah.
Just getting in, putting in time together.
See, that's the thing. People talk about you can't just show up and play basketball. So you guys have put in a lot of extra work. Laramie Harvey's the head boys basketball coach at Hill City. They're 18 wins on the season. Okay, you just beat St. Thomas More in the postseason after you beat them really tight in the regular season. Those games went down to the wire. What was it like for your program to get over the top with St. Thomas More?
I mean, honestly, it's huge because they're such a great program, and they have been for a very long time. And so for our kids to be able to beat them the first time and then again on Friday, it's just huge for the kids and huge for the community as well. It's so fun to see the kids, people talking to them, excited for them. It just, like I said, it's just huge for the community what it does, being able to beat a program like that.
Yeah, I know that. St. Thomas More has been at or near the top. Very, very competitive for a long time. Hill City takes them down. The Rangers are 18-4. Their head coach, Laramie Harvey, on tonight. So I'm trying to get a glimpse of this program. If we watch you, if people watch you tomorrow night for the first time, you play in that Sodak 16 game, what do we see from this team?
Well, very little size to start, but my favorite thing, I think, we've maybe turned a corner about a month ago. We're a team. We don't have guys that care how many points they score or any individual stat for that matter. Just we're looking for good shots, not selfish shots, and they really bought into that, and it makes them a fun group to watch.
Yeah, 18-4 is your record. You've won 10 in a row. Does it feel like you're playing really hot right now? The 10 in a row winning streak.
I don't think we've even had anybody mention that. So I think they continue to grow fundamentally, and we're doing some things better. And like I said, buying in as teams. So I guess I haven't even thought about. I haven't heard any of the kids mention about how many games in a row and we're hot or this or that. So
I think you're hot. It's a good time. It's a good time to be hot, though. You're going into one game. What do you think of what do you tell the team tomorrow night? This is a one-game pressure packed. Whether we like the Sodak 16 or not, there's arguments out there. It's a one-game basketball game to win and get to the state tournament. What's the message?
The same message it's been for the last, all season. Just do what we do and, play team basketball and continue to do that. And that's I know it sounds simple and cliche, but they bought into that, and that's really what we're looking to do.
Yeah, you don't make it bigger than it is. It's one game to get in. What do you think, Coach, of the Sodak 16 model? This gives you a chance to get into the state tournament. You have to play a region first in Class A and then get into the Sodak 16. You get this matchup at a neutral site. What do you think of the format?
I don't mind it. I mean, I'm born and raised in South Dakota. I've been in South Dakota my whole life, played high school ball here, and I think it's a good format. No matter what you go to, there's going to be cons. I like it, but I don't mind it because whether it's in regions or state, if you want to win it, you got to beat good teams, and it doesn't matter when. So that's kind of my philosophy. So I don't really have many qualms with the format.
One win and you're in tomorrow night. What would it feel like for a Hill City community? I get the feeling that this is a tight-knit school, a great school. We know that the community. Yeah, I feel like this is still small-town basketball.
It is, absolutely. It would be huge, Nate. I mean, Hill City boys have never been to the state tournament, and the community. There's plenty of videos out online just from the ending of our St. Thomas More game, and it certainly helped to have all those people there backing us for that. So hopefully they come out to Sturgis tomorrow night and do the same, and it's huge for the community because, like you said, everybody supports the kids, and they just they love it. So.
Yeah. I congratulate you trying to get to 19 wins. That would tie the record for most wins in a season at Hill City, by the way. You get to 19 wins. That was back in 99-2000. Now, 25 years later, Hill City trying to get to the state tournament. One more, Coach. So it's a short turnaround. Cheyenne Eagle Butte, scouting them, trying to get this thing ready. What do you see from them?
You know, they've got some quick guards. Good, you know, they like to get after it. You can't be loose with the ball. They've got a big boy down low. He'll present some problems for us just because we don't have anybody that can match his size. But, you know, we're hoping we can get out and run a little bit and push the tempo. It should be a fun game to watch.
In Sturgis tomorrow night, and it'll be covered on Fox Sports Radio, by the way. Hill City boys basketball taking on Cheyenne Eagle Butte, trying to get to the state tournament for the first time. Head coach is Laramie Harvey in his fourth year there. Coach, I appreciate you coming on. Congrats on a great run. Wish you luck tomorrow.
Well, thanks, and thanks again for having me.
I appreciate it. Laramie Harvey's the head coach, Hill City boys basketball. What a season, 18-4. And that was my mark. They won 10 in a row here. Just beat St. Thomas More out of the region to get to the SODAC 16. That one went to OT, and they hung on. By the way, they had to beat St. Thomas More like twice in the past couple of weeks, basically. I mean, they played them really quick and then right again in the region. Laramie Harvey, head coach, Hill City boys basketball. They'll play Cheyenne Eagle Butte tomorrow in the SODAC 16. Good to have them on. If you miss parts of the show, we go high school, we go college, we go pro. We don't repeat stuff and play interviews over and over. So go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. A reminder, search for it, the Nate Brown Show, and you've got every show. If you're interested in high school or the Summit League or the Vikings, whatever it is, great guest tonight. Search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, how we wrap up the show? Who's hot and who's not? Let's do it right now, powered by the Pizza Ranch. 2 locations in Rapid City. Also, the Pizza Ranch at 3809 East 10th Street in Sioux Falls East, and out in Brandon. The Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. On the Nate Brown Show, we do it every night at this time. Who's hot and who's not? In my Who's Hot, it's an easy one. I mean, we can't go tonight without congratulating South Dakota State women's basketball. I know it just seems like it happens now every year, and they've won, is it 65 games now in the Summit League? 65, 66, who's counting? In the 60s. How about that? Another Summit League title. South Dakota State wins it. Haley Timmer, Rapid City star. First team, all-Summit tournament team. Congratulations, Haley Timmer, South Dakota State women. Now we'll see where the seed lines up. This is a women's program that's won in the NCAA tournament. Can they do it again? Congratulations, South Dakota State. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not tonight, I saw this video. You know, it's high school basketball time. This is out of Illinois. They're playing in the postseason, trying to get to the state tournament in Illinois. There was one team that was stalling the ball. They weren't dribbling. They weren't passing. They were standing there. The gym was packed in Illinois. They were standing there. No shot clock. No shots for over halfway through the first quarter. And then finally somebody took a shot. I mean, you can't have it. South Dakota has a shot clock. Illinois, get with the times. A basketball game over midway through the first quarter, no shots? Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. The podcast going up right now. See you tomorrow.
In towns all across South Dakota, it's your banker